fever. Do we celebrate when we have high fever? High fever is a good thing. The body puts a great effort in creating high fever. Do you know why body does high fever? Because at high fever, the enzymes in the body, those are catalysts of energy, they work twice as fast. It's like you have double amount of enzymes. It's so beneficial. All the bacteria, the bad pathogenic bacteria, is destroyed at high fever. Now when body has high fever, it says, hey, don't eat please. Eating will take so much more energy from me. And the body creates no eating condition, no appetite condition. It covers the tongue with the white coating that makes the food not tasty. Do you remember that? The nose is stuffed so you cannot smell the food. The eyelids are so heavy and so painful that you cannot see the food. The body wants you to close your eyes and rest. The tonsils are so enlarged that you cannot swallow the food. Do we cooperate with the body? Do we listen? When the body says, please don't eat anything, even an apple, here comes grandmother with a chicken soup. It's in America. In Russia, grandmother comes with a boiled milk with butter and honey in it. In Europe, they come with a hot wine or something. So in every country they have, I don't know what they come up with different countries. I think we could have a contest here and everybody will be telling what people treat their loved ones when they have high fever. They're usually very heavy, toxic stuff. So what will body reaction will be to that chicken soup? Thrown up? The body says, oh no, oh please. What if body doesn't have that spare energy to throw up? Then the complication will happen. The complications. Have you heard of complications when people have high fever? They say that happens because of high fever, the complications. Actually, complications happen because people eat when they have high fever. And they say high fever is so dangerous. You have to put it down, otherwise you could die. No. You cannot die from high fever. You can die if you don't cooperate with your body. If you do something opposite what your body wants. Now we don't listen to the body. For example, do you remember when you had high fever? You were feeling cold, hot, fluctuating, cold, hot. So you'll take off your covers, you put on the covers you put. Do you remember that? You remember that? So your children feel the same way because the body, when it wants to regulate certain level of temperature, and it lets you know. It's very friendly. It says, I'm hot, uncover. Now I'm cold, I'm shivering, cover back. When we have children in bed, they say, Mom, I'm hot. They say, no, honey, you have to keep the covers on. We force them, and they develop seizures. Because they become too hot, body begins to try to get covers off. What's wrong with the covers? They just don't come, so big body develops seizures. My son, when he was 1 year old, he once had seizures when he had high fever. And I called ambulance and they said, oh, this is a sign of meningitis. We're going to come and give him prednisolone shot. And I called my pediatrician, and she was a very old woman, 60 years. She was ready to go on retirement, and I was so lucky. She called me, she said, Victoria, do you have too many blankets on your son? I said, oh, yeah, I have 3 thick blankets. She said, instantly put him in a lukewarm shower. Put him on your lap so he doesn't get scared of cold water. So I did, and his seizures stopped. When the ambulance came, they were so angry at me. They said, let's give him shot anyways, since we came. So what do we do when somebody has high fever? We treat him with aspirin, salicylic acid. You know, salicylic acid is a toxic poison. The witches in 15th century, they were using it to poison people to death. The salicylic acid. And you know how bad it is for your body, your precious body that is dedicated to you, devoted? So we treat it with aspirin. This aspirin stays in your body, almost impossible to get it out. It stays in your body for the rest of your life, and as a result of that, you cannot develop high fever anymore. Just remember, when you were 5 years old or 4 years old, you had very high, good quality fever. If you were treated with aspirin, since then you never had high fever anymore. You had low fever. Your body cannot go any further because it's like chains on your body's organs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is it true that when you had high fever, you treated with aspirin, you cannot have high fever anymore? Do you remember that? Anybody? Right? Yes. The good news is that if you go on raw food, the aspirin will leave your body. And your body will become normal and you'll get your high fever back. Everybody in my family had high fever. It was wonderful. Because, you know why it was wonderful? Because when I was treated, when I had high fever when I was a child, it usually would take a week, sometimes longer. And then I would feel weak long time after that. They wouldn't even let me go to the gym. Now when we were on raw food diet and I had fever, it only lasted 6 hours. Because I was cooperating with the body. I stopped eating right away. I gave myself an enema. I stayed in bed. I took cold showers when I felt too hot or something. And within 6 hours, you know what happened? I felt better than before. The high fever only lasted as long as it